more accessibility everything is, where whether it be like in the programs itself, the plugins that you would be using, or like YouTube videos for tutorials on how to use the programs, how to use the programs to achieve certain sounds, and like how to organize stuff. It's just all that's becoming more accessible, and also the demand for dubstep in like a market like the US is rising, and it's just pushing like the equilibrium farther to the right, which would just mean they right now dubstep is in a really interesting place just because like there's so much demand for it. There's more demand, I'd say, that for dubstep than there's ever been. And like you have also a lot of people coming into the market to essentially either make dubstep or throw dubstep shows, or just work within the industry somehow, like work in that little sphere. So it's a really interesting market just because of all these factors and all these variables. And it's like you have the most dubstep artists that you ever had in one period of time. But as a result, you have like a lot of people putting out very like um not necessarily like creative, but like there's not as much innovation as there was
Right.
5 years ago, and that's just because there's so many people entering the market, and there's already a lot of ideas that have been done before. So I think a big problem with dubstep right now is it's like, okay, so where do we take this genre? And there's people who are definitely pushing it. Like the biggest one of the biggest pushes we've seen in dubstep recently, and it's with polyrhythm, with how not a simple 4x4 structure track structure. It's more technically more jazz like, since it's going off with a I think what 7/4 structure, but it's not too different from like normal EDM structure, albeit.
It's interesting. That wasn't. I'm not sure about the numbers there. I'll be honest with you. So,
Yeah,
but you are right, because it's like we were saying, it's gotten very almost like saturated. Like there's so
yeah,
it's so big. There's such a need for it, but at the same time, it's very hard to distinguish yourself in it. Because exactly what you're saying, in a sense. If I'm
yeah. And
summing it up.
a lot of the ways people are doing it now is through marketing.